Hey everybody, welcome to the special 4th episode of Spin the Crunchyroulette. I'm Digibro and I'm joined with
Endless
Chess!
Burger King.
I am a demon. And we're going to be watching some random fucking anime shows using the Crunchyroulette method because Jesse thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go hit random on Crunchyroll. We've got Sket Dance, I've seen that. Random again. Magician's Academy. Is that... I think I know what this is. I think I've seen this.
All the anime is queer. What do we do?
Nogizaka, I've seen that. Fantastic 10th Labyrinth, I've seen that. It's going to take a while to find one I haven't seen.
Oh, God.
Seen that.
I'll get comfortable and start whacking my peen over here while you take care of the
Mushi-Uta.
grunt
Have I
work.
seen this? Have I seen Mushi? I don't think I've seen this. All right, let's watch Mushi-Uta.
Oh, boy.
Let's see how it goes. All right, we watched the first episode of Mushi-Uta.
10 out of 10.
It was fucking terrible. What did you think, Jesse?
It was unoffensive,
But it didn't make any
but it did.
sense.
I don't understand what I watched.
So, it's a bug world.
Yeah, I gathered that much.
So, all right, there was some... The first half of the episode and the second half felt completely disconnected and had nothing to do with each other.
The first half was like, bugs. Guys with giant bugs. A guy running from another giant bug. And I'm like, okay, obviously this is a show about giant bugs in some capacity.
And then the second half had no giant bugs at all.
The second half was just like a kid in high school not bugging. Not bugging at all.
This show has some of the worst dialogue I've ever seen. Every line was like, "Don't let your dreams be memes. I have a premonition that bugs are gonna bugs."
Yeah,
And,
every
like,
line was just some this Japanese gibberish. That,
yeah, it was a total non sequitur. Like it felt like this show really was trying to be deep, but none of it made sense.
Well, it just needs a really, a really capable dub team to get in there and change the dialogue to explain what's the deal with the bugs. I feel like if just one character at any point had said, "By the way, this is why there are giant bugs."
Yeah, it would have... Nothing was explained at all. There's, like, characters walking around. Like, the first lines of dialogue are like, if you don't cooperate, we'll destroy your bug. And we're like, okay, so everyone has a bug. And then in the second half of the episode, it's heavily implied that no one knows about the bugs. So it's like, wait, what? Like,
so what I think happened is that the main guy is part of as a bug fighting but also anti-bug group of bug beater-uppers who beat up bugs for a living, and he's going undercover into a school full of kids, and the public doesn't know about the bugs, even though it's
he's also part bug.
Yeah, like even though it should be very obvious that there are giant bugs.
Yeah.
Because How's It Going, Dude Bug was just sitting there in the middle of the park, waiting for people to pass by so he could go, "How's it going, dude?" I don't know how no one notices that. Like, it's like a nightly thing in this city.
I would not have been able to finish this episode if we weren't cracking jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
If we had not been making bug jokes constantly, this would have been really hard to watch. The character designs are great. Very early 2000s look, but super adorable. All the girls are cute. All waifus. The guy was cool when he had the goggles, but when he was in high school, he's just some fucking dude.
Oh yeah, they never explained that whole thing where how it started with a girl getting shot in the fucking head.
Yeah. Or her bug was shot. I don't know. She showed up later. She was an adult. She is hot. Then she was a tsundere for no reason.
Was that the same girl?
I think so.
I
think that was the girl who got shot. Because it said 4 years later, and I said she's going to be in high school.
Took a bullet right to that part of the brain that makes you a tsundere if you get fucking shot in it.
And it felt like it was really trying to be artsy. Like, there's lots of cool shots. Like when he's in the telephone booth and that angle where it's like up in the booth, and that looked cool.
There were definitely moments like this is a sad moment, and this is a fucking...
But with no context.
Yeah, and also just thinking about the bugs the whole time. Like, when is it going to get back to explaining the bugs? And it never did.
The end of this episode, like, the main character, he goes into, like, his, like he's calling this organization, and they're like, we set you up in this shitty apartment. And then the last, like, 3 minutes of the episode is him wandering the streets and just playing the sad music, and, like, there's no color, and everything's black and white, and there's all these trippy images, and then they're, like, walking through spiderweb imagery, and I was like, what the fuck does any of this mean? I don't know who either of these characters are.
There's this girl with green hair, and she's like, there's color now, and then that's it. And then they see each other, and I guess they're in love, or something.
That would be the visual implication.
Yeah.
But that was confusing as fuck.
I give it I accept it.
I'm not gonna watch any more of it.
Well, I accept it. I think it has a right to exist.
I think the character designs and visuals were good enough that I'm like that I didn't feel like repulsed by it, but the dialogue was so bad, and the fact that I literally have no fucking idea what the show is about.
It does hook me in the sense that I want them to at some point explain what the bugs are about.
But at the same time, if you watch episode 2 and it's just like, all right, here's what the bugs are about, you'll be like, okay, now I don't have to watch anymore, you know? Like, I would immediately stop if that's all it was.
Okay, I've committed Bug World to my mind, and that's as much space as I'm gonna fill with this show.
Alright, well, let's find out what our next show is. That didn't even feel like 20 minutes, so that at least is nice.
Well, we watched Bug Planet, so next up is gonna be Bug Galaxy. Oh, I hope every show has a bug
Prince
theme.
and the Fire Child? Is this a movie? Oh, it's a movie. We're not gonna watch a whole movie.
No, fuck that. I'm not gonna watch 108 bugless minutes.
I've seen that, though. It is good. Ooh, I've never watched Tower of Druaga. Alright, I've heard of this.
Of Uruk.
Yeah, the Aegis of Uruk, in all caps. Alright, let's check it out.
Well, we both hate anime now.
We watched the Tower of Druaga, episode 1. So the idea of this was to be like a farcical take on the...
It seems that way, but then it also doesn't seem that way. Because the end of it was like totally taking its... Oh, God.
So, okay.
Oh, boy.
Most of the episode was dedicated to a big, dumb, silly take on the adventurers in a fantasy land trope. But the OP was like mostly...
Like high school shit.
High school stuff.
Which was never explained or expanded on at all. Like, it led us to believe that, like, this was a show about kids playing a D&D campaign.
Right.
And eventually there would be some reveal of, haha, this is what it actually is. It's a high school show about nerds. Which would be cool. Like...
But then it was a haha reveal, but not about that.
Yeah, it was... The haha reveal was that you thought it was a silly D&D campaign, but it's actually a totally serious... this.
Yeah.
And the high school thing had nothing to do with it. It was
still
just
completely not explained at all.
Like Jeff's show, What's in an OP? Like, literally, what was in that OP? Because it wasn't this show.
Jeff, we need help.
It was a whole different show.
Oh my God. Which the OP was great. And we were both excited by the OP, and then after that, everything
the first
sucked.
2 minutes, I was like, yeah! And then I was like, yeah,
Nothing was funny in this show.
No.
The whole episode was jokes, and every single time something happened, I went, oh, the joke is that he's like, oh, okay, the joke's that they got his name
I certainly
wrong.
liked the aesthetic as it was starting, because it's got, like... The character designs are very obviously, this is a D&D thing, and this is the knight, and this is the archer, and this is the rogue, and the girl. And, it, like, reminded me of, like, this, like, when I used to play this old fucking D&D arcade game at this fucking place, and it was, like, a 4-player side-scroller, I'm like, that's cool shit. I'd watch a show that was just that.
That might have been the Tower of Druaga. This is based on an arcade game, so...
Shit, it might have been.
Yeah.
But, like, it would be cool if it was just a show about nerds, like, role-playing, and, like, each episode was, like, a different campaign. That'd be the coolest idea for a show ever. They wouldn't have to have high stakes or anything like that, and no one can do it. It's my idea, because I'm going to make that anime, and it's going to be the best anime of all time. It's not going to be this.
No. Every single joke that we made during the show was funnier than any joke that was in the show.
Like that time I said vagina.
Well, there was a scene where the girl gets tentacle raped. I was not looking at the screen. I just heard a girl making noises, and I was like, "Who's getting raped?" And I looked, and she was.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you predicted that the guy was trying to let her...
I made a joke that the guy would be like, no, don't, whatever, but like not really want to stop her, but then that's exactly what happened.
Right.
And somehow it was less funny actually happening
because
than when
it was creepy when it was actually happening.
Like these characters are supposed to be friends, right?
Like your joke was, that would be so messed up.
Yeah.
And then that was exactly what happened, and it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, no.
The art style is like wildly inconsistent throughout the whole episode. Characters keep changing the way they look. The whole show's art keeps changing. That's kind of typical of a Gonzo show. There's one scene that's definitely animated by Akira Amamiya of Gurren Lagann fame. Like, it literally looked like he did the Giga Drill Breaker during the final scene. But it wasn't cool. Nothing was cool. It was lame. I hated it. I truly hated it. Me and Jesse each individually uttered the phrase, "I hate anime."
Yeah. At different points, too.
It was miserable. And the ending reveal only made me mad.
Because it didn't make any fucking sense.
Both didn't make sense and made me like, why did I have to watch all that then?
Was just that, like, he got knocked out at the beginning and imagined a sillier version of the actual adventure they were really having.
Right. So I assume the rest of the show is serious.
Which is a weird way to start the show, then.
Right. And that makes me not trust that it will be good. Because, like, why, if you're making a good show, why would you start it in such a retarded way? And why would you try to why would you try to trick people into watching your show by being like, hey, you're going to enjoy this goofy fun time, if the serious plot was actually gripping? And...
Well, you know, you're like the world-famous anime critic, Digibro. And I feel like I want to come into this being like, nah, you're wrong. All these animes are great. But I didn't like this.
No. we were pretty miserable in this one. Alright, well, let's see what the next show is.
Yeah.
I guess I have to keep recording while I figure out the next show, because that's part of this big gimmick here. Oh no, I hit play! Alright, random shit. Classroom Crisis I've seen... I do not want to do that. Ooh, Unico.
Fantastic
dubbed.
Adventures of Unico.
This is a movie. God damn it.
No!
Unico isn't.
For a brief moment, I thought I'd get to see something in English. But it was taken away from me.
Phantom Thief Reinya? Don't think I've heard of this. Oh, it's only 3 minutes long. Let's watch this.
Yeah!
Okay, well, we watched the first episode of Phantom Thief Reinya.
Not sure what I just watched, but I'm somewhat sure I loved it.
It's 3.5 minutes long. There's elements I really liked.
Like, there's,
Even though it was overall kind of retarded.
Like, it just, like, washed over me before I could digest any of it. It was like a rape that I'm pretty sure I somewhat enjoyed.
I'm pretty familiar with the Phantom Thief genre.
Like, it held me down and beat me up a bit, but right from the beginning, I was wet as fuck.
It's like a Lupin the Third kind of, like, you know, like, there's a lot of shows about phantom thieves, like a charismatic thief who makes a big steal.
Shit. I figured that out.
But this is a 3.5 minute version of that, where it just condenses all of it into like a lightning fast.
The jokes
delivery.
were so fast, I didn't have time to laugh at them. So who knows if they were funny or not.
Right.
There were certainly a lot of jokes, I think. It was just shit flying at you. You gotta bunker yourself from it.
The girl's cute, but all she does is like make puns and talk about food, which I guess is fine.
She's got some kind of critter.
Yeah.
She grinds the critter up into dust.
She violently despises this mouse that she lives with for no reason. Like, he just says, like, totally innocuous stuff, and then she, like, microwaves him and blends him into nothing.
And then she stole a thing from a museum. And that's it. We described the entire show.
Yeah. I don't know if I can recommend this, or I don't know what to say about it.
I mean, at 3 minutes, how can you not recommend it?
Watch it if you want to be baffled.
You have no reason not to try watching it.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's cool as fuck. I give it an 11 out of 10. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Especially compared to, like, Numbnuts and his brigade of dipshits going into the fucking D&D hole
Yeah.
to suck each other's
Or
twats.
the bug one.
Or, yeah, Bugsuke Urameshi, the Bug Warrior.
Bugsuke. One Piece. What is One Piece East Blue? Okay, I guess that's just the first 61 episodes of One Piece. Oh, I've never actually watched Cheese Sweet Home. This is another short one. Or maybe I have watched the first episode. I don't know, but we're going to look at it because people like this show.
Cheese Sweet Home.
Oh,
is this a cat show? Is it a show about a cat?
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
This is actually season 2. But
And it's
whatever.
another 3-minute one. Thank
anyways.
God.
All right. Well, we watched episode 1 of Cheese Sweet Home, Cheese New Address.
The greatest anime of all time. That was immediately everything I've ever wanted in an anime, and then it somehow got better.
Yeah. So it's a cat show. It's an adorable cat.
Yeah.
She wanted to go outside. That was this.
She wanted to go outside, but they didn't have room for a cat. They couldn't have a cat in the apartment.
Right.
And then the parents had to have a serious talk. Like, at first, it's like this cute show, like, I'm a cat, I want to go outside and do cat shit, bloopity blue, it's a fucking anime about a cat. But then in the middle of it, there's like this scene of the parents having this serious talk about maybe we should get rid of the cat, give it to our family. And they both, like, clearly don't want to give away the cat, but they're thinking about, like, what's best for the cat. Then they look at their fucking son in bed, curled up next to this fucking cat, and it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to the fucking cat?
I gotta say, within 3 minutes of a show I've never seen and have no connection to, I felt the pathos immediately.
That was like a serious arc in 3 minutes.
That was the best show we've watched
That
yet.
was by far the best show we've watched.
And
I'm pumped to ingest all of that.
So I'm pretty sure that's season 2 or 3, and we watched the first episode. I'm inferring
season 1, episode 1.
Well, it's Cheese New Address, so this is. I'm inferring from the title that they will give away the cat, and she has to go to the.
No.
She's gonna go to the countryside and have a new family.
Why you doing this to me? Why you gotta make me feel these fucking cat feels?
It was amazing how much feels there was.
Yeah.
The music was on point.
That was like a remarkably effective 3 minutes in every way. Everything that it tried to do, it succeeded beautifully.
Yeah, it was good. I've heard a lot of good things about this show overall, so it lived up to the expectations.
Yeah.
Good times. All right, let's watch another. We can probably do at least one more.
Yeah.
Happy Tree Friends. Why the fuck is that on the
Get
anime?
it out of here! Delete!
Delete! Delete! Delete! Delete! Fantasista Doll. I don't think I've seen this. No, that doesn't look familiar. All right.
Well,
we watched Fantasista Doll episode 1.
I can't say that I hated that, but I also can't say that it existed. It was like it was a very nothing show.
That was the most middle of the road.
I got nothing out of it.
It's okay.
I've already forgotten it.
It's definitely in the genre of like magical girl show for adults.
It's in the genre of like stuff that people imagine when they brush off anime as a genre.
As a medium. Like, okay, I mean, it's sort of a common thing now that they have these shows that are like taking the tropes of a show for little girls, but it's a young girl protagonist and like cute stuff, but it's made for adults. There's fan service. It's not coy about that. There's nothing. It's also a card game show.
Oh yeah, it had elements of every possible thing ever, and none of them made any sense together.
Like, I think I'm going to assume that there's a card game tied into this show, but it also made reference to Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Like, the main girl is a professional Magic the Gathering player.
Magic 2 Gathering.
Yeah.
It's very different.
But like, because she's so good at Magic, they also recruit her to play this, like, magical game where cards are people or something.
Well, it's like, she has Magic the Gathering cards, so it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, but the cards also turn into, like, people who serve her, so it's like a fucking magical girl thing, and also a Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
But then it's all on her phone, so it's also a future diary thing. So it's just it's elements of everything, and it's all dumb.
production wise, it looks cheap. It felt like I couldn't tell what era it was at first, and it was from 2013, and I was like, oh, like that's a little too new to look as shitty and old as it does. Um, I like the hair. All
Oh
the girls
yeah.
have interesting hairdos,
Yeah, the one girl had super sexy bedhead.
and I like that the girls all have teeth.
Yeah, you wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't shut up about the fucking teeth.
Well, because it's like there's only a few shows that do that. It's like a weird trend that started as a result of K-On! I
Having
think.
teeth is a weird trend.
Yeah, like K-On! Started it where like the girls have like just this like block of tooth that is at the top of their mouth, and like it was done in Sacred Blacksmith and
His
Seikon no
exact
Quasar.
words as soon as the show started were, "I like that Lolly's teeth."
I didn't say lolly.
Ah.
I just said, whoa, cool teeth.
I wanna rub the head of my penis on her teeth like a toothbrush, like an electric toothbrush.
I like the teeth.
My electric dong vibrating on her little baby teeth.
Do we want to try to watch another show or?
I'm pretty fucking tired.
Yeah, that was a difficult watch. That was boring as fuck, and it's 5 a.m.
The cat show was a 10 out of 10. That was worth the whole thing.
I think the lesson we learned here is that anime should not be more than 3 minutes long.
Yeah, that's definitely the lesson. Yeah.
All the 22 episode shows we watched were terrible.
And all anime is trash, except for the ones that are over before you understand what you're watching.
Also, having that slow realization that all the shows I haven't watched, there's probably a reason I haven't watched.
Yeah.
All right. See you next time.
Anime.
It's a Japanese colloquialism.
Cool.